Hello there. I am David A. Specht, the original old dog. If there is anything I have learned in my 30 plus years of life and leadership, I have learned that mindset is everything. Join me and my guests as we explore the positives and negatives of that thing between our ears. This is Keep This in Mind. Welcome to Launch Day, folks. This is Keep This in Mind, brought to you by SpechtHealth.com. And yes, this is the day that I have been pre-gaming for several weeks. It is launch day for my book, Old Dogs, New Tricks, version 2.0. I am super pumped about bringing this book to the world. And can I tell you, when they say that bringing a book out is difficult, can I tell you, it is more difficult than you could ever imagine. It is full of hoops that you got to jump through, but it is here, it is out, it is ready. And I'm kind of flipping the script a little bit today because it's launch day. I do want to talk about my book, obviously, but I want to bring value to you. And I believe that there's ways to do that with bringing another voice into the room. And so today it is my distinct pleasure to bring on my friend, my mentor, the host of the Our Cultivated Lives podcast, best-selling author of the book, The Life You're Meant to Lead, Tom Hamill. Welcome to the show, Tom.
Hey, David. Let me just say, obviously, thank you for having me and letting me be a part of this project. But what I want to say first and foremost is congratulations.
Thanks.
This is a big deal. Congratulations. I mean, this is not a lot of people get to say they've written a book. So I understand the amount of time that it took to get to this day. It's like having a baby.
Oh, it is. And what I kind of chronicled it a little bit on social while I was doing it. But I said, if you really want to know how dumb you are, run a manuscript through Grammarly. Because I'm going to tell you, you think, I've been in the journalism business a long time, but you think, I kind of got this thing down. But boy, you start going through it and you realize all the grammatical inconsistencies over that many words. It can. Again, there's a lot of hoops to jump through, and then the formatting and all that. Because when you're self-publishing, like a lot of people do these days, that work is handled by the author, and it has been quite the journey in and of itself. And I certainly have learned a lot through the journey.
Well, we as much as we are celebrating today and the launch of the book, we would say it probably won't be the last time we have this conversation, that there will be other projects in the works. Because
absolutely. I think
we like to torture ourselves.
Oh yeah, no doubt. And it seems like every time I take a shower, there's an idea for a new book or a new chapter that pops into my mind. Right. So, I mean, that's kind of the entrepreneurial mindset, isn't it? You have 100 ideas a day and maybe 2 of them are good. And so you write them all down, or you at least try to, at least before you dry off.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Try to capture those. So take a deep breath. Enjoy that for a moment, right? Because we're at lunch. And I know we're flipping the script and I'm interviewing you. So I'm gonna maybe throw some curveballs at you or some different things. But so the title of the book, and it's available now. People can go get it. They can look at the QR code. They can go to the website. Old Dogs, New Tricks, version 2.0. And so my first question is, why 2.0? What was it that made you? What was it made you that you revisited this idea, and you're launching out the 2.0 version? Why?
Well, I'll try to do the Reader's Digest condensed version, but the truth of the matter is, this isn't the first iteration of Old Dogs, New Tricks. It was a book that I had written back in 2015, but it was written for the wrong reasons. I had gone through some courses and listened to some podcasts, and people had said, you could make a book out of a compilation of your own blog posts. And I had written a blog for years, and I'm like, that sounds pretty cool. So I just started putting blog posts together that I grouped in areas that I thought were relevant to one another. And then I launched a book on Amazon. No real plan or purpose behind it. And I felt like it wasn't very good. In fact, it was only like 35 pages or something like that. And but I wanted to prove that I got it out there. And I think besides my mama, I might have sold 5 copies. And as I just kind of put it on a back shelf, right? And you and I had talked about several things. You were launching your book, and I said, "Oh, I'd written a book." And he goes, "When?" So I sent you the manuscript from the original book, and you're like, "David, there's some great nuggets in here. There's some real value here. You just need to put it together in a better way, in a way that speaks to a reader who may be like you are." And I'm like, you know what? This is like the 2.0 version of software. Nobody likes the 1.0. It's full of bugs. It's full, there's glitches everywhere. Until it gets out into the public, you don't really know what's good about it. And so as I went back into the writing room, if you will, I said, let's take the best of what was in the first edition, which were some of the chapters, but let's really take it from one end to the other, speaking to the reader and I'm a real believer in thinking of the avatar. Who is the perfect reader, or who's the perfect person to reach? And I kept thinking, that's me. It's the guy who's 40ish, 50ish, maybe all the way to 60ish. He's the world's changed around him. The things that he had planned up to this point in his life are not playing out because the world has changed. And just so the audience know, I wrote the bulk of this during COVID. So there was this whole COVID factor of how markets were shifting and the world was changing all at once. And so I was like, this is a perfect reason why it's 2.0.
I would say this, and this is why I started with that first question, so I could get to this question here. And that is, from the first version, 1.0 to 2.0, are we, and I kind of know the answer to this question because I've walked with you, we have a great relationship, but are we also dealing with David 2.0?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, that my whole life has changed since the writing of the book. In fact, I dedicate a lot of time and energy to the idea of how you can be a different person even in your midlife, how you can be that individual who thought life was going to be this way. I was, again, I don't always take it back to my health, but my health was really the catalyst for all the other changes. I went from 320 pounds to 210 pounds. I mean, that transformation in and of itself, and like I said, I spent a lot of time in the book talking about that effect, really did inspire me really to step things up and really go after other areas of my life, to get back into personal development, to get back into leadership study, to get back into improving myself. And so, one of the things that I do believe in this life is that when you get traction in one area, you want to take on other areas. And so when I got traction in my health, it's like, okay, let's do this thing. And that's really when I reached out to you and said, Tom, I feel like I've got this thing inside of me that I've got to get out, that I want to help people, but I don't know where to go or how to do it. And when you started, again, back to the first question, when you started, firing off things of, how people, get their message out or find their voice, I was like, well, I've done that. I've done it. I've done a podcast. I've done this. And he's like, then you've got all the tools. You just need to put them out there. And I'm like, well, when I put them out there, I didn't do it so well. He said, but you're not the same David. You got to put it out, this version of David. And so that's really, like you said, 2.0 is as much the journey of David from 1.0 as it is the journey of David and any other leader from, the time that they realized that they're going to be a leader to now be in that position.
When an author launches a book, right, we have some hopes. We have a mission, right, that we're trying. Some it's as simple as trying to get sales. Others, it's trying to be a philanthropist, and sales are going to this cause or that cause. And so, what is it that you hope people get out of this book? What is it that you're trying to accomplish with this message or awaken in somebody through Old Dogs, New Tricks.
Well, let me talk a little bit to, why today, why is it so important today? Okay. And that's why we have all the fanfare. That's why I brought you on. Number one, I believe that this book can impact a lot of people like me. I just believe that. And the only way it can impact people is if they know about it. So what do? You go to the number one bookseller on the planet, Amazon, and you put it out there. Now, here's the thing. Amazon is much like social media. There's algorithms involved. There's things involved out there that either show you or hide you to the rest of the world. So today, February 14th, 2023, we are launching the book, and because there's going to be a lot of people doing last minute stuff for Valentine's Day, but that really wasn't the thought process. Really what it was can we get to Amazon bestseller status by selling a lot of books in this 24-hour period so that the algorithm will then begin to show it to other people who are in search of what we have to offer. And that's really the point of the book is to make an impact, to move the needle in somebody's life, even if that needle is just to make a decision to take control of their health, or make a decision to take control of their finances, or make a decision to take control of their leadership, or it doesn't really matter. It's a very broad-based book from the standpoint that the principles in it can apply to just about every area of life. So the goal of the book is to help people impact their own lives, and by impacting their lives, they can impact the world around them. But the book won't do anybody any good if nobody knows that it exists. And that is why it's so important that the viewers of this show, the listeners to this podcast, understand that we really need to get the book in as many hands as possible. That is really the goal of what I'm doing here today.
And it's remarkable. I got the early manuscript for the book, and I will tell you, and I'm maybe on the bottom fringe of your target audience, right? I'm 43, and I can just say the principles, the tools, the mindset of this amazing work is applicable to all ages, right? You don't have to be in your mid 50s. You don't have to be in the twilight years of your life to say, you can't teach an old dog, new tricks kind of thing. Is that we are people of ruts, right? We're people of habits, and we are loyal to a fault to our habits, even when they're not serving us or working for us anymore. And so sometimes we got to learn new tricks and learn new mindsets and learn new habits. And it's an incredible work. It's an incredible work. And I would just encourage everybody, follow the QR code, get to the landing page on Spec Health, right? Because there's some other bonus features, some bonus ads that David is throwing in the mix there that we've worked on, some other project things that you get that is incredibly valuable. But that's part of it, because we know how valuable the message of Old Dogs, New Tricks is. It's so powerful and impacting. So I'm glad to be a part of the project. I'm thankful that you included me even in this journey, the behind the scenes view. So let me ask you this one other question. Was there content that didn't make the book?
To be honest with you, it was very difficult not to shove content in post-production, because life is not a finite set of experiences. It's not a finite set of lessons. And so what I found was I had to cut it off. Yeah, I could have added, for those who were on the show yesterday, that I gave myself a little black eye, and the lesson that I learned from that, I was like, this should be in the book. This is something that, the focus aspect, the senseless urgency versus sense of urgency aspect are an amazing things that are for us, right? For us old dogs to remember that because it's important to us doesn't mean it's important to everybody, or that decisions have consequence, all of those things. So yeah, there are things that are not in the book simply because I'm still learning them. And so I
Sure.
would say that as I continue to grow and evolve, there may be 3.0, 4.0, 5.0, but I will tell you that Old Dogs New Tricks 2.0 is a very complete work for somebody in this phase of their life. Now, I want to. You touched on a subject that I think bears repeating and really going a little bit deeper into, because I'm a firm believer too that if you don't take action, you lose momentum. Right? You may grab my book and just be really motivated or really inspired to take action in your life, and yet now the all the pressure's on you to take the action. Right? I got to do something, but where do I start? What do I do? So as a bonus to the people who follow the QR code, and I'll go ahead and pull that up again. And for those of you that are just listening, go to specthealth.com/ODNT for Old Dogs New Tricks. We have a bonus for you. Tom, along with Dave Ross and I, produced a 12-lesson course called Step into Purpose. It's a video course. It comes with workbooks. And this is the perfect complement to Old Dogs New Tricks for you to take action in your own life, for you to begin to apply the principles. It takes you everywhere from dreaming to setting goals to taking your health seriously to financial contention. All of the things that you need to become very well-rounded in stepping into your purpose are actionable in this course. It costs $300 for the Joe off the street to take this course, and I'm offering it to you for absolutely zilch. Just purchase the book, upload a copy of your order, screenshot from Amazon, whatever. Use the QR code again, specthealth.com/ODNT. And it's all yours. And you can take this course at your own speed. You can do it, 12 days in a row. You can do it 12 weeks in a row. You can do it 12 months in a row. But it gives you the framework to take actions on the lessons that you learn from the book. And I really think that the 1-2 punch of Old Dogs New Tricks and Step into Purpose are really, really powerful. And I want to go ahead and throw one more little plug in, because I don't think it would be fair not to. And that is buy the book, The Life You're Meant to Lead by Tom Hamill. Remember, there would be no Old Dogs New Tricks 2.0 if it wasn't for The Life You're Meant to Lead by Tom Hamill. And I don't know if it was a divine coincidence, but this book, he just passed 2 years out on the market with the book. I think it was yesterday. And as far as like when it was actually available on Amazon. And so, what's coming in 2 years from now, you never know. We may co-write a book together. But I'm going to tell you, after you buy my book, just go ahead and add The Life You're Meant to Lead to your cart as well. So
that's way too kind. I am thankful for the impact of that. But I will say, anybody listening, watching, the whole point of that bundle of Step into Purpose with Old Dogs New Tricks is that it's about adding value to people's lives and helping them go, hey, now that I have all this incredible motivation, I'm incredibly challenged by Old Dogs New Tricks, what do I do next? How do I make the decision, or how do I take the execution or the action of moving forward? And so you get to see the heart of the author when you see that kind of a bundle like that, of going, hey, it's not just about trying to get a sale, but actually trying to help people transform their life. So I think Old Dogs New Tricks hits the mark with transformational habits, mindsets, attitude, and action. And so I thank you for putting it out into the world and sticking through, even running it through Grammarly and the painful parts of all of those things. And I fully get that, right? I fully get that. But scan the QR code, specthealth.com, Old Dogs New Tricks, right? Make sure you're getting that. And time is of the essence, not because we're just trying to show Amazon, hey, people are interested in this, and it will show it to more people, because it's that valuable, it's that impacting, it's that important. And I know that this won't be the last project. So and that there's other content. So make sure you're following, this show and the podcast. Get all of the things that David's doing. He's an incredible guy. And he's pointing at the QR code there, which is just amazing. So I'd say happy Valentine's Day, David. I hope you get a dozen times a dozen of people clicking on the link today, right? And having that. So super important. That can they just go to Amazon, or do you want that QR code?
That's up to them. If they go to the QR code, like I said, it'll take you to a page which will qualify you for the Step Into Purpose. But if you just want to go straight to Amazon, look up David Specht, Old Dogs, New Tricks. If you look at the cover of the book, that's the cover right there. You can just go straight there if you want. But I would say take advantage of the offer. And because, again, if you're only a consumer of information, if you're only a consumer, I believe, and I end most every podcast with it, it's not knowledge that's power. It's applied knowledge. And the combination of Old Dogs, New Tricks and Step Into Purpose will help you apply the knowledge.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks again for letting me be a part of the project. Guys, go right now and get that book. It's going to change your life.
Thank you so much, Tom. Thank you, everybody who is on live and everybody who watches this throughout the course of the day. Again, let's go scan the QR code, go to Amazon. Let's make an impact on the world today with Old Dogs, New Tricks. Again, it's not about me, it's about the impact. And I believe that this book has been birthed because of the impact that needs to be made in our world today. So remember, just like I said, applied knowledge is power. God bless. That is going to do it for this episode of Keep This in Mind. For more, visit davidaspecht.com. Like, follow, and subscribe. Thank you for listening, and remember, applied knowledge is power. God bless.